You're fine. You're completely fine. You're not falling apart. You're not in crisis. You get up, you do the things, you go to sleep, you do it again. But somewhere between waking up and going to bed, you notice it. A flatness behind the eyes. The feeling of being tired that sleep doesn't fix. You have a good weekend, and on Sunday evening, something tightens in your chest for no reason. You meant to call that friend back. It's just that you haven't gotten around to it. You find yourself staring at things, walls, screens, the middle distance. You're not depressed. You're not anxious. You're not burnt out. Not in the dramatic, clinical, I can't get out of bed way. You're just running at a frequency that feels slightly wrong, like a note that's almost in tune. You've probably been like this for a while, long enough that you've stopped noticing it's not normal. Here's what happened. Your nervous system was designed for a world that no longer exists. It was built for short bursts of stress. A threat appears, you respond, the threat passes, you recover. That recovery part was non-negotiable. It was built into the system. But somewhere along the way, the threats stopped passing. Instead, you got a phone that brings you a fresh set of problems every 4 minutes. You got a work culture that considers availability a virtue. You got the news, always, everywhere, all of it urgent, none of it resolvable by anything you can personally do before lunch. You got caffeine to push through the tiredness and alcohol to come down from the caffeine and scrolling to avoid the silence that might let you actually feel how you're doing. Your nervous system never got the signal that the threat had passed, so it stopped waiting for one. It's been in a low-grade state of alert for so long that alert became your baseline. You adapted. You called it normal. You got quite good at it. Your autonomic nervous system has 2 modes that matter here. The first is sympathetic, fight or flight, designed for danger. Heart rate up, muscles primed, digestion paused, focus narrowed, excellent for emergencies, expensive to run for years at a stretch. The second is parasympathetic, rest and digest. This is where your body repairs itself, where memories consolidate, where your immune system does its maintenance work, where you actually recover from being alive. You need both. The problem isn't that you have a stress response. The problem is you never leave it. And the research on what that costs is not subtle. Chronic low-grade stress, the kind that never peaks and never resolves, has been linked to sustained elevated cortisol, which over time shrinks the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory and emotional regulation. Not dramatically, just quietly, gradually, less of it. Your cardiovascular system runs hotter than it should. Your immune response gets sluggish. Your sleep gets lighter, even when you get enough of it, because your brain never fully believes it's safe enough to go deep. None of this shows up on a bad day. It shows up across years. And by the time most people notice, they've spent a long time calling it just how they are. The clinical term for this state is dysregulation. The common term is just how most people feel on a Tuesday. Now here's where I'm supposed to give you a list. 5 ways to regulate your nervous system: breathwork, cold showers, journaling, magnesium, a morning routine, probably involving something at 5 a.m. I'm not going to do that, not because those things don't work. Some of them do. But because the real problem isn't that you lack a technique. It's that you've become so adapted to dysregulation that genuine rest will feel wrong to you at first. Suspicious. Like you're forgetting something. Like you should be doing more. Most people who try to regulate their nervous system give up in a week because calm feels boring, because stillness feels like falling behind, because they've been running so long that stopping feels like something must be wrong. Regulation isn't a spa day or a breathing exercise you do for 3 minutes and then check off a list. It's a long, slow, sometimes uncomfortable process of teaching your body that the danger has passed. And honestly, most people aren't willing to do that. It's easier to stay busy, easier to stay just tired enough that you don't have to sit with yourself, easier to call it personality, I'm just someone who needs to stay busy, than to consider that maybe your nervous system is just scared and has been for a very long time. You might be one of those people. Most of us are. So here's the challenge. At some point today, stop. Not to meditate, not to optimize your recovery, not to do it right. Just stop. Sit somewhere. Don't fill it. Let it be uncomfortable if it is. Notice what comes up when you're not managing yourself. Most people won't do this. Not because they don't have 5 minutes. Everyone has 5 minutes. But because 5 minutes of stillness will show you exactly how dysregulated you are, and that's a harder thing to unknow. Your nervous system isn't broken. It's just been trying to protect you for so long, it forgot you asked it to stop. The question isn't whether you're tired, it's whether you're ready to find out what's underneath it.